Yeah, I have a question. So in body sensing, and then when body sensing becomes life sensing, there's this presence that is vibrant, tactile, bubbly, like, living in a bath of champagne, ginger ale, whatever. And it's sensed to be within and without, so that there really is no separation. And it's wholly and fully present and never not present. It's present in the waking state. It's present in a dreaming state, etc. And then there's this silence, but you cannot perceive silence. You can perceive presence, but you cannot perceive silence. Can you talk a little bit about that? Or maybe I'm misunderstanding something. Maybe silence is perceptible, but it seems to me like silence is only perceptible in its fullness rather than its silence.
What is perceived is prolongation of whatever you name it, presence, silence, or what bear no name. So you never perceive what it is, but you perceive the prolongation in the body-mind. So the vibration you refer is a transposition of silence in body sensing. The silence of the mind is a transposition of silence in the mind sensing. But the silence of the mind and the vibration of the body are not presence and are not silence. They are the expression of it, the expression of them in our structure. So it is very important not to limit in the perceiving what we are. And you said it is present in the waking state, you said it is present in the dreaming state, etc. Not etc., because it is not present in the deep sleep.
Right.
In deep sleep, this vibration disappears, this silence of the mind disappears.
Mm-hmm.
In real silence, in real presence. So what we experience, what we feel, is a transposition, is a reflection, as Jean used to say when you wake up in the morning. When you said, I slept well, you don't refer to the deep sleep, you refer to the body sleep expression in the body. So the deep relaxation you feel in the morning, the quietness, you feel a direct expression of the deep sleep, but they are not the deep sleep. So whatever is perceived is a prolongation. Of course, in the ultimate sense, prolongation and what it prolongate are not different. Because cause and effect are not different. And as much as in the Advaitic perspective, that the object is different from the subject, in the Kashmir Shiva perspective, Vimarsha is Prakash. The expression is what is expressed. But in the pedagogical way, still it must be approached as an expression in order not to limit the ultimate as what could be experienced, what could be feel, what could be visualized, and so on. So if we do not name what is nameless, we keep the name, which is, I think, the most functional way to what is experienced. So yes, the body is silence, yes, the body is vibration, yes, the mind could be silent, but it refers, it is more, for me the proper attitude is to project no name on it, because the name brings confusion, because a name is a concept, and a concept refers to its opposite. So that if we meet silence, it seems to be in opposition with sound, and so on and so on. So, for me, presence and silence are expression in body-mind of what is named by some presence or silence, of course. So it is different and it is not different. But deeply, the opposition between Advaita Vedanta and Tantric tradition will be resolved as much as Lillian Silburn, which you know in his text and his introduction, have accent very much opposition. And that was according to Lakshmanju's teacher, that Advaitic perspective accent the static Brahman, and the Kashmir Shiva perspective accent the vibrating spanda. Today, as we were discussing, when I was with this scholar in the University of McGill, he said that now in German just one text has been published, which is anterior of 2 centuries of the Yoga Vasista, in the same expression of stories, and this text is an Advaitic text prior to the Yoga Vasista, and which is directly linked to Kashmir Shaivism. So it seems that now we could prove that actually Advaitic Vedanta and Kashmir Shaivism could be found very early in togetherness, and not in opposition, only in Silburn accent. And as Abhinavagupta did criticize Shankara at some point, but as we know in Indian tradition, to criticize, it is not as such a critique, it is generally a way to precise a point of discussion, to precise a point of teaching.
Éric, today I was building a cabana with a friend of mine, and he's more of the carpenter, so he could do more of the work. And when he was doing the work and I was sort of like helping him and handing him nails, or sort of like just being there, it was like tense for me, and it was uncomfortable, and I couldn't be present. But when I had something to do, when I had the painting to do, and I was off on my own, it was fine. I could smell the I could smell the paint, I could taste the paint. And watch it dry. So I guess my question is, how can I'd like to be more present and less anxious in the first, when I'm just sort of like, okay, I'll say the word, not in control, and he's in control, and I'm just sort of like hanging around.
When you perceive that you are not present, this is what we call presence. Presence is to see that one is not present. There is no other presence than that. When you say I am present, you're daydreaming. When you realize you're not present, it is a perception of the moment. So don't try to be present, although you come to fantasy. Be open to be non-present. Without comment, without justification. You need to change. What you are doesn't need any change. It's not important that you are this or that. It is important that you become aware of what you are. What you are, you're a young man, you're an old man, you're a rich man, you're a poor man, is irrelevant. What is relevant is presence. So when you realize you're not present, you made it. But stay there, don't jump into the commentary that you should be more present. Why are you not present? Maybe you'll be present. Or if you have a depressed mentality, maybe you'll never be present. No, just live with the fact. There is no doer in life. You cannot be a second hand or a first hand in action. When you're painting, you're not painting. It's a joke. There is painting, but you're not a painter. It comes through you. It doesn't belong to you. So if you stop pretending being a painter, when you hand nails to a carpenter, you will not be different than him. You will just be witnessing life. Don't appropriate yourself qualification. What you are is not a painter, it's not a carpenter, it's not a second hand, it is unthinkable. So you notice sometimes some abilities for painting, some inabilities for carpentry. Yes, sometimes you notice intelligence in yourself, sometimes stupidity, sometimes courage, sometimes cowardice. So what we are is noticing. But what we notice is irrelevant. There's nothing to intervene there. So, in this state of giving yourself freedom to be what you are, whatever, competent or incompetent, it comes from one moment to another. You don't accent anymore your competence or not. You witness them, you're open to them, you let them really free expression. Sometimes people love you, sometimes they hate you. It is good. It is welcome. Why? Because it is a fact. Sometimes you are competent and you are incompetent. It is welcome. Why? Because it is a fact. So you must live with fact. You cannot be competent in everything. So you're not responsible for your competence or incompetence. You witness it. When you're young, you run fast. When you're old, you run slowly. You're not a fast runner, you're not a slow runner. You are witnessing abilities from one moment to another. It is important to have this openness with what we encounter in life. There's no identity. So you must give up your competence to be able not to pretend to be incompetent. But as long as you feel competent in something, then of course you will feel incompetent in something else. But you are neither. There's a space in which competence and incompetency appears time to time. And both are welcome, both are beautiful. It's beautiful not to know something, to be really incompetent. Myself, I'm like you, I'm totally incompetent in carpentry. I'm incompetent too in painting. And it's beautiful. It's no choice. You know that I'm called to something with competence in that field, I can't. I welcome this incompetence. It doesn't reduce me in any way. I am not my competence or my incompetence. I am not my strength, I am not my youth, my old age. I am not my sickness or my health. This appears in me from time to time, like any emotion, and that's okay. So, become attuned with just welcoming what comes to you. And what comes to you is a reaction, it is to be welcome to. And when what comes to you, it is non-welcoming, that is, you welcome it too. There's never any problem. Problem always appears in your awareness. You are not the problem to be solved. You are the awareness in which problems arise. There's nothing to solve in life. In a certain way, incompetence is closer to truth than competence. And it is good because it is what generally we are.
Okay, Eric, so I'm aware of presence pretty much all the time. Anytime there's a stopping and attending, presence is obvious, it's perceptible, auditory, visual, and yet I'm aware of it. And as long as I'm aware of it, I'm missing something. And from what I know, what I hear, there's some great non-event of that subtly shifting from I being aware of it to just being it, or being. And in the meantime, there's nothing I can do, and it's very sad.
You're aware of the sadness. You're not sad. Sadness is beautiful. That's why you're reading Epstein, the Swedish writer, and that's why you go to see Rigoletto in the opera and you cry when the daughter is killed. It's beautiful sadness. You're not sad. The sadness is very strong in you. It's beautiful. Some people have fear, some people have loneliness, you have sadness. It is your door. Sadness comes to leave you. You don't let it happen because you pretend to be sad. When you say I am sad, you block the sadness. Then you try, what shall I do not to be sad? It's too late. When sadness comes, you must welcome it. It is beauty. Emotion is beauty. But you're not sad. You feel the sadness in your chest. You feel it in your throat. You feel it in your belly. It's beautiful sadness. It is a movement. It is a rhythm. It is dry. It is grey. It is so on and so on. It is a feeling. But you're not sad. When you say I am sad, this concept blocks the feeling of sadness. You're not sad. You feel the sadness. You let the sadness caress you. The caress is like a new lover. You know nothing about it. So you must explore, which means you must let it happen. And you let the sadness slowly unravel tactically. And you will see the sadness move and deepen and flower, the smell and the taste of it expand and it goes and at some point it leaves you. Because it isn't needed. But it may come again in any moment. Emotion are welcome. It's beautiful emotion. When you go to see an Indian play, many plays, the sadness is important in Indian music, in Indian literature. Sadness has a very deep role in Indian emotion. Why? Because it is what it is. But you're not sad. The sadness will go. But as long as you say I am sad, you block the sadness. And you can be sad for 60 years. Then you can pretend I'm sad because of this or that. It's not true. You're not sad because of that. Prior to that, you were sad before. Whatever event you will call and say, oh, this made me sad, it is not true. You were sad before that. The event that pushed you to see your own sadness. The sadness is here. It doesn't belong over there because of this or that. So, you're wise enough to understand that sadness is yours. It doesn't belong to a situation. It's already very good. The next step is to totally sensually let the sadness leave. Let the sadness open. Let the sadness unravel. But you're not sad. It's a feeling. It's exactly like if I squeeze my wrist, my wrist is tense. I'm not tense. If I let go of my hand, I'm not more relaxed. My hand is more relaxed. If I tense my hand, I'm not tense. My hand is tense. I'm not my hand. When I go to a horror movie and I see violent and I'm afraid and I pay for that and I'm not afraid. I feel fear. That's what I pay for. So when I go to see Rigoletto, I cry always at the end. It's beautiful, and I feel the tears coming and caressing, and I take the tears and you caress the tears. It's beautiful to be sad, joyful to be sad. When I leave the opera, I'm very happy to have been so sad, to have let the sadness come. So you must encounter sadness as a beautiful emotion. Sadness is come to leave you. It's a big bubble, and the bubble come up and come. When the sadness comes to you, you say, no, I don't want to be sad. What shall I do? Maybe I should do more yoga, maybe I should meditate, maybe I should become Buddhist, maybe I should stop eating this. No, you'll still be sad. As long as you stop pushing it away. And then it come up. And when the bubble come up, it will vanish as sadness. Then it brings you back to the essence of sadness, which is happiness. The essence of all emotion is happiness. Whatever it is fear, it is loneliness, it is violence, it is sadness. It comes from happiness. That's why art has been invented. That's why as we said, we go to see a sad play of theater, because it is beautiful. That's why children play to create fear in themselves. It's beautiful to have fear, to feel fear when you're not afraid. The whole emotion is let really free. Free yourself and bring you back to your own, to home ground, to this happiness. So this sadness is your luck. See how much you spend time to push it away. How much you spend time to try to, what can I do about it? Do nothing about it. Let it live for once. Let it alive. Let it open. Let it really, this sadness has something to tell you. The spiritual teaching, it is in this sadness. It is not in the text, you will find it. You can study a Kashmir tradition of 60 years, it brings you nothing. For 1 second you let this sadness open, it brings you everything. But see the movement to push it away constantly. I'm in yoga and I'm this and I'm that, so I should not be sad. Why am I still sad? And no. You never let the sadness speak. Sadness comes to free you, but you must let it come alive like a flower. The flower open, when the flower open, the flower die. But for it to die, it must open. So just see more and more how much when the flower open, the sad flower open, you push it away. You try to think of something else. You try to be happy. You try to, what can I do not to be sad? That's a curse. What can I do to welcome more the sadness? To really welcome it deeply. It is your gift. The teaching is only there. It's not in the text. The text says the same thing. But to really understand the text, you must first let the sadness really come alive. Then you will really understand the text from inside. As long as sadness remains unlived, we only interpret text, we not understand them. You can become a great scholar, as many scholars, but a scholar with sadness cannot understand, because text is about happiness. So you must let the sadness totally come alive. Then the text will speak to you directly. So the text is beautiful, but to let the sadness come more and more tactile with you is important. You're too intelligent. You try to think. You try to do. What should I do? Nothing. Nothing you can do. Intelligence gives you nothing. Intelligence is a game for stupid people. You must feel it. And you cannot even feel it. It feel you. You cannot sit and decide to feel the sadness. No. In a moment, you're in a situation, you're in a room, something happened, you really feel sad. Great, you made it. It is your gift of the day. You sit and you feel this sadness really caress you. You shut up for all criticizing, justifying. There's nothing to think, only to feel. Then it takes care of itself. And forget the fantasy of shifting, becoming something or that. It's business. It's good for California, but it doesn't make nothing. You become nothing. There's nothing to become. Becoming is a fantasy. There's no shift. You cannot become present. You cannot become this. This is completely. This is a wrong understanding of the text. If you need some financial problem, then it's okay. You can become realized. You can become a guru. But if you can survive financially, you don't need to become a guru, you don't need to be realized, you don't need to do this ridiculousness. But you need to let the sadness come alive. That's really serious, that's really deep, that's really spiritual. No shift, nothing to attain, nothing to obtain, nothing to reach. Simply to, when sadness comes to you, say yes, totally, maybe sensually. No expectation, no strategy. You don't do it for a reason. You do it because life is to give yourself to the fact. You'll be on your deathbed, but you will do nothing. But you welcome what is there. And your deathbed is now, always. So this sadness is the ultimate experience. And very soon you'll see the word sadness will come out of your vocabulary. There will be a feeling, an energy that you have called sadness, as some people have called fear, as some people have called depression, some people have called anger. It is the same thing, just with a different name according to your culture, your background. It's only one emotion. And very soon you don't name it anymore. It's just it's a feeling. And you let it really, really, really come alive. You cannot resist it, it will happen, whether you like it or not.
What did you say the last thing?
It will happen, whether you like it or not.
Can you say something then about control, the desire or illusion?
Control, desire, or illusion. Control is a fantasy, there's no control. The thing you have control, take some LSD and you will see. It's ridiculous. When you see a man or a woman you want to sleep with, you have no control of your attraction. When you see somebody you're afraid, you have no control of your fears. You have no control of what you feel, bad smell, or what smell stimulates you. You have no control of your preconception about politics. When you see this president or that president, you love it, you hate it, you have no control. Sexually, intellectually, on the food level, on the music level, you have no control what you like or not. You have no control if you like softness or violence when you make love. What is your control? It's a fantasy. So this word has no sense. When you feel the need to control is okay, let's welcome it too. But very soon, you realize it's just a fantasy. It's an idea. You think you decide, you don't, you're decided. You see a beautiful dress or a beautiful car and you buy it, you think you've decided, you don't decide. Something happened chemically in you and all this chemical make that you want that. Of course, you feel the opposite way. If you want something, then the body follows it. The body begin. There's constantly now some experience made in the States or in Russia to prove that the action comes before the decision.
John, like Ramana, taught people to follow the eye thought and trace it back to the heart center, and there's all these techniques for dealing with the eye. You say just feel sad?
Yes, because I'm not Jean. Nobody like Jean, like Hanamashi, and title to go to this line. But you must stand on the level to do that. I'm not a guru, I cannot do that. It will be fantasy. Guru have certain abilities who belong to them. And if you didn't meet any guru, you miss nothing. Because you get what you need. I know so many people who lived with Jean Klein, and I know so many who lived with Krishna Menon, and I know so many who lived with Maharaj, I know few who did live with Ramana Maharshi, I know many who lived with Damaima. What good was it for them? For some of them, I have nothing to say. For many, it was nothing. So don't feel you missed anything. But what is deep in you, you cannot miss it. It is yourself. That even a guru cannot give you. He can push you toward it, but it is for you to acknowledge. So when you acknowledge sadness, you're already preparing yourself to acknowledge the deepest in you. So when you let an object come alive, you come close to the ultimate, which is to let object refer to the subject. So sadness is your object. As for an artist, a work of art is this object. For a musician, a sound is the object. For you, it is sadness. It is not the sadness which is important. It is because you're going to let this sadness come alive. This sadness will become vibration, pulsation. This vibration will unravel, and at some point, reduce in silence. When the object sadness dissolves, the subject witnessing the sadness disappears. You cannot be a subject without any object. And there is no object and no subject. What you are looking for in a guru, in a teaching, come alive to you. So you don't need a guru. Otherwise you will know one. It's very simple. What I don't have, I don't need. So you miss nothing. But the technical you refer to is strictly belong to a guru. The meditation on the formless can only be taught by a guru, because it is its own formless vibration that can sustain the formless vibration of the student. And because there is no difference, something happens. But that belongs to a guru. But to let this sadness come alive, being vibration, pulsation, to let this sadness really unravel and reduce in your stillness, make you free of the need of any guru. If you do that, you don't need a guru. And if you need a guru and don't do that, the guru can do nothing for you. But the technique you refer, you need a guru. Don't waste your time to look around. There's none on the market.
So you're saying any direct inquiry to the nature of the I requires a guru?
I'm afraid so. I don't mean as intellectual gymnastic, why not? But to be effective, yes. Yes. Only the I can bring yourself to the I. So the I in the guru stimulate the I in yourself, because it's not two. Otherwise it's only concept. Then if you follow intellectually this questioning, who am I, will end up become a realized person and give talks and describe when it arrives, how it arrives, and whatever is a butterfly, or can on the forehead, or whatever you bite your tongue, or you whatever you, it's okay if you need to make money, to survive, to sell that. But it's a joke. Question who am I? Need Ramana Maharshi to do it in the traditional way. Because who am I is not a thinking question. It's not to ask who am I. Who am I the fire? With a flame by the guru. But the guru is silence. So this guru is always there. Outside guru is an expression, a limited expression of the real guru, which is your own. But for the transmission in this line, yes, you need a guru. So, don't waste your time. But for the direct transmission, without technique, to let the object unravel and disappear, so does the subject. This is your own. Because if you can get inspired by a guru, you can read Jean Klein, you can read Ramana Maharshi, you can read Mr. Eckhart or Abhinavagupta. Yes, they will help you to go to this line. If you read the second chapter of the Tantra Loka, the Anupriya chapter, as we discussed earlier, yes, that will help you to understand this line. Abhinavagupta expressed very clearly that there is nothing to teach. What can be taught? And because there is nothing to teach, there is no teacher possible. What you are cannot be taught. So don't follow a technique, just follow the evidence of life. You read the text for the beauty, for the poetry, for the riddle. Don't try to understand the text. The text means nothing. Understanding becomes to the profane world, to the profane realm. Understand nothing. Text means nothing, not the deepest meaning. Text is silence. So you must read them as you read the poetry of Rilke. What did it mean, Rilke? It means nothing. It is pure beauty. You read it, you read it, you read it. It finishes, you finish too. That's poetry. Or you read the text. But does it mean because you're intelligent that you can sometimes discuss and understand what means chamatkara, what means certain aspects of Sanskrit philosophy? But don't take that as a way of understanding yourself, because it doesn't work that way. It is a way of exploring the beauty of Sanskrit, it is a way of exploring the beauty of Indian culture, it is a way of discovering the beauty of Indian tradition, it is a way of discovering beauty as to listen to music, as to do poetry. It is not a way to understand yourself, because this is no tools. Only tools is awareness. And in awareness, we doesn't accent what one is aware of, but we do accent awareness itself. one must see the tendency to push it away because it's difficult, to push it away because you're sad, to push it away because it's... Make no excuse, don't push it away. Happiness is looking for you now, not tomorrow, not when you will not be sad anymore, not when you will understand the text, not when you will... No, now. But see the fear of now. You want it tomorrow. No, it is only now. No excuse, no pretext, no cause. You must remain on this edge of total craziness, because present is craziness. You have no reference. And see the fear at this moment. It is looking for you. You don't need to look for it. When you look for it, you're going away. Because you want it in your own term. It is looking for you. You're a woman, so you must totally be a woman. I mean, in a traditional cliché of the term, you must be passive. Truth is looking for you. Truth is a man. You're a woman. You must remain passive. It will find you. You cannot find it. You find it projected. See how much you're going away. See the fear. What can I do? What can I be without the fear? One instant. In one instant you will be now with no fear, with no sadness. You will see the immense fear is coming to be with no sadness, because it is a security. You build this sadness to survive, and it is beautiful. You are totally entitled for that. You have no choice. You have no choice to create it, and you have no choice to give it away. Because it doesn't work. But it was needed up to now. And it's finished now. It's only in this now that something is possible. Never tomorrow. Never when the sadness will go. Otherwise it will never go. It can never go in the future. Clarity is never in the future. Clarity is now. Don't think about it. It is taking care of you.
Thank you.
Bonsoir Éric. I'm having a difficulty to coordinate. It's like I have two personalities in me. I have one side that's want to be quiet, and then I have the other side that wants me to create and do art, and I'm having an issue living both personality or both side of me in the same life, in my same home, or inside my body, my mind.
You have only two personalities?
No, maybe I have more, but there's two strong personality or strong will. One that wants to take it easy and meditate, and the other one who wants to do art. And I cannot find a balance inside of me. Because one is more like creating and exploring and being maybe in my ego, I don't know, but the other one is the opposite of that. It's not being this or that, just be. And I cannot achieve that in making arts. I do art with my five senses, my feelings, my heart, but still I found it difficult.
Forget meditation, forget non-ego. Give yourself 100% to creation. Life is creation. Meditation is for sick people who are afraid of life. Art is meditation. Meditation is dynamic. It is not to sit like a piece of wood and to... this is the caricature. If you would have met my teacher, he was running and going to the opera and running everywhere. He will come to a plane, he will arrive in Nice, and at noon we will drive 250 kilometers to go and eat in a special Italian restaurant in Italy, and then we drive again 250 kilometers to come back home, and in the evening we go to the opera, and so on. It was life. And then another moment, there was no opera, and he had enough food, and it was still. But life is movement. There are some moments when you live in a traditional way, when you eat in a functional way, you sleep reduced, you sleep 3, 4, 5 hours. Though in the morning, if you don't want to make noise with a neighbor, or for your lover, or for your dog, so you cannot stay lying because it's an inappropriate position for the body. So you sit, so if the neighbor looks through the window, he thinks you meditate. It's a problem. It's not meditating, it's just putting the body in the right position, and so the breathing is right, the thinking is right. Meditation is not a doing, it is a non-doing. My teacher used to say, meditation is not to take the train. But you do not to take the train, you do nothing. You have nothing to do. And then when the neighbors begin to wake up, when the dog wakes up, you rise up, you're going to spend your life sitting. And so you vacuum and there's a room, and you make your bed, and you prepare breakfast for your husband, and you feed the child, and you water the plant, and you begin to sing if the neighbors are awake, and you begin to paint, and so on and so on. Because there's no contradiction. Life is action. Meditation is this openness toward life, toward the action. So it is not an activity to meditate. It is just a kind of fulfilling, the fulfilling of deep sleep. In the evening, even if you are producing the greatest work of art at midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, if needed, what you want? You want to sleep. You want to sleep. It's not in contradiction with your artistic life. So you have created the whole day and in the night what you want. You want to sleep. Sleeping is meditation. It's only real meditation. So in the evening you give up all your creativity, all your lovers, all your whatever you like, and you give that to nothingness. That's a deep attraction to deep sleep. And if you give yourself to deep sleep knowingly, it doesn't mean in subject-object relationship, it means you give yourself totally, without pretending a future, without pretending a morning, because there's no morning, it means your last night. So the future is irrelevant. The past is finished, it is dead. What you've done today, it is finished. Your piece of art, your piece of music, it is gone, it is finished. So you go to sleep to die. Your lover, it is finished. Your children, it is finished. Your family, it is finished. Yourself, it is finished. So this is gone in the evening. And you go to sleep to die. And if you do it like that, in the morning when the lover wake up, when the body wake up, when your abilities of doing art wake up, you have this kind of full feeling, this kind of background of stillness. That is meditation. And there may be moments between two clients where you sell your art, in between two painting, in between two poetry, whatever you do, that eventually there's nothing to do. It is too early to go to this meeting is finished. What do? You do nothing. And as sitting is a very comfortable position, or if you have no money, if you have an armchair, you sit in your armchair and you do nothing. And then when you do nothing, the body will collapse in this vibration, in this quietness. And if there is a dog in the room, you may think, well, she's meditating again. But you don't. You just don't pretending a past, nor a future. So meditation is this moment of not creating past and future. It's not an activity. Life is activity. So give yourself totally to the activity. Don't save yourself. Don't save yourself time to meditate, time to be quiet, time to be. It is ridiculous. It is this fear of life. But if it comes, you welcome it. It may come from meditation directly, but it is not a choice. Sometimes the mind stops, sometimes the body stops, sometimes the thinking stops. That may come to you, but it is not a decision. This we don't comment. It is the beauty of life to have this moment too. Like when we are together here, sometimes there's nothing to say. There's no question, there's no answer. What we do? We do nothing. We just give oneself to the joy of beingness. But it is not a meditation. Only the dog who look at us may think, well, they're meditating. We don't. We do nothing. That's meditation. And then the question comes, then the answer comes, and so on. It is no difference. Life is acting.
So we've been sitting here. What's your experience like? Is your mind active? Are you thinking about the phone call you have to make tomorrow with your mother? Are you sleeping? Are you sitting there in absolute silence?
I'm sleeping.
Sleeping?
Yes, when there's nothing to think, there's sleeping. Body sleeps, the mind sleeps. Oh, there's no tomorrow. Sleeping with alertness. Object sleep. But there is no sleeper.
My mind's been busy, and I have a belief it would be better if it was just sleeping.
You have to accept that too. It's a belief. Some people believe in God, some people believe in love, you believe in the mind will be better. You are sleeping, but you must respect it. It's a belief which you did now, but only now. Now it's finished. You will don't need anymore. Don't pretend it is your characteristic, this belief. Belief come, when you see it, it is finished. It may come again, but give it a chance that it's really finished. Your agitation appears in stillness, in silence. Your agitation is feeling. Feeling the agitation is exactly as feeling anything else. You ask me what's happening when you are sitting. Nothing happening, but I can feel your agitation, I can feel the vibration in the street, the ground, and the heat of the hair, I can feel so on and so on. So there is awareness of what comes to the attention. The sound of the police car is silence. When you don't create a relationship, a psychological relationship, I have nothing for the police, I have nothing against the police. It is a sound. Sound comes and goes. When it goes, it is finished. It's a memory, a psychological memory. So, agitation is a feeling. Thinking is a feeling. You must approach thinking as a feeling. You're feeling your thinking. If your dog asks you, how do you know you're thinking? You will say, I'm feeling it, I know it. You will say, how do you know it? I feel it. Well, where do you feel it? What is this feeling that you call thinking? Let it come alive, this feeling of thinking. And you will see, you never thought in your life, there's no such a thing as thinking, it's only feeling. Thinking is a name. Actually, it is a feeling. We don't think, we feel. It's not different, it's only a pedagogical tool that we said that this is thinking, this is feeling. It means nothing. There's never been any thinking, it's feeling. Thinking is always in proportion. Proportion is a feeling. So we name this feeling thinking. There's no such thing as thinking. It's feeling. So you made it. You're only living in feeling. Even when you think, it is thinking. You could never find a problem which is not solved from the very beginning. Problems arise in non-problematic space. Tension arises in stillness. You never tense, you feel the tension. You never agitated, you feel the agitation. Agitation come and goes. If I take some LSD, I will feel the movement, but it doesn't make me agitated. What for? Why be agitated? There may be agitation, but I'm not agitated. Agitation is a chemical process. Agitation only arises in stillness. It comes from stillness, it abides in stillness. When agitation comes to you, you must totally surrender to it. It is what is needed. It is your object of meditation. That is spiritual, to feel agitation. What is spiritual is the idea to be quiet. I want to be quiet. This is mundane. But feeling agitation is the highest. This hand is tense. I'm not tense. Mind is agitated. I'm not agitated. Agitation happens in the mind. Tension happens in the hand, the forearm. But I'm not tense when my forearm is tense. And if I lead totally this tension, free of any intention, what's happening? I notice my hand is tense. What do I do now? I do nothing. All my energy is in witnessing this tension. I do nothing. I'm totally in admiration, in astonishment of this tension. Why? Because it is what appears to me now. It is pure consciousness. Why? Because it's nothing else. So all my attention is in feeling this tension. And you will see naturally, the tension moves. Why? Because the natural body is detente, it's relaxation. If you knock me down, the instant my hand open. So the activity is to tense the hand. I do an activity to untense the hand. Other strange people who do yoga, they try to relax the thumb, and they try to relax one finger, and they relax this, and they relax that, and they relax that, and they relax that, and they relax the hand, they relax the wrist. They don't realize that when the relaxation happens here, they've tensed the hips. And then one day they realize, when they relax the hips, then the shoulder will be tense. When I have attention, I need it. If you beat my hand, I'll tense somewhere else. That's why I should never relax the body. I feel the tension. I do nothing. I contemplate the tension. Tension is movement, it's feeling. And when I do nothing, tension goes. Why? Because tension is action. And my energy is in pure witnessing. Naturally, you will open. So when my mind is thinking, my mind is agitated, I do nothing. And exactly when I feel the tension in the hand. When all the energy becomes witnessing, the thinking mind, the movement mind, naturally come into sleep, as when you go to sleep in the night. When you go to sleep, what do you do? Not to think. You do nothing. You let it happen. It is very natural, this stillness. So it is by doing nothing that the agitation goes, it is by doing nothing that the tension in the hand goes. If I try to be quiet, I stimulate agitation. As some people, they can't sleep, they want to sleep, it doesn't help. I relax my hand, I tense something else. So I never relax. I feel the tension. You might have totally this experience. Nothing higher for me than this tension. Why? Because it's what I feel. Maybe I'll die the next moment, I have a heart attack. It happened already, it will happen again. I don't want to waste a second of life. Now life is given to me as a form of tension in my hand. This is for me the highest. It's not the tantra the highest, it is the tension in my hand. Because it is my last experience in life. I want it totally. I totally give myself to this feeling. And when I want to think of it, naturally, you will see. The energy was creating the tension will unravel and abide in stillness. But if I open my hand willingly by relaxation, the energy will fix itself somewhere else, create another tension. So you can quiet your mind willfully by some exercise, but you will create a major agitation. So you don't touch your mind, you don't touch your hand, you let it happen. And it unravels in your stillness. It is a very nature of life, this movement. Relaxation, tension is an activity. I don't need to fight it with another activity. Agitation is an activity. When I'm totally giving myself to the contemplation of this activity unsustains itself. I'm only tense because I tense my hand, nobody else. In witnessing, there is no more eye, there is no more direction without any intention, the hand open. When my mind is agitated, I'm totally open to this agitation. Agitation is intention, expectation. So when I give myself totally to the fact of the agitation without wanting anything, this absence of will, this absence of intention, allow the intention, the strategical mind, to abide in this tranquility. At the moment you want not to be agitated, then it is forever. Agitation is a feeling. You must feel the agitation. Don't think it. Feel it. Feel it. You feel the agitation. You feel the pulsation. When you have a toothache, you feel it. It's a pulsation. You must feel the agitation in the brain, and the brain is the whole body. You will feel it in the whole body. In this feeling, something unravels.
It seems to me like I feel more when I'm not acting, when I'm more calm, and when I'm in the action I feel less.
There may be a moment for that. When you learn to drive, first you drive slowly normally.
Yes.
Then later on you can drive fast with the same attention, try to do the same thing. When you learn to do yoga, first you learn to do this slow movement. Well, yoga is not slow, but when you go slowly, you're more attuned with all the compensation and so on and so on. Later on you move very fast in yoga. Because it's no more, because the feeling is alive in speed. So here there is a moment where activity acting over activities are more difficult. Yes, it is true. When you're young, you cannot have several lovers, you cannot have several bank accounts, you cannot. Slowly, your maturity comes and you begin to have more abilities. It comes with experience, it comes with life, and so on. So you must live with your abilities. Not the one you wish you have, not the one you should have, not the one you may have, not the one you have. So the neighbor lives differently, but you're not the neighbor. So it's very important to live with your own abilities, your own level. This level is ultimate. There's no other for you in the very moment. If you respect your ability, they expand forever. But most people live with abilities they don't have. They live as they are like that. Most people need a psychological relation, but they pretend they don't. So they suffer. Most people are jealous, they pretend they don't, it's a spiritual. Then they suffer. If I'm jealous, I surrender to it. I'm totally jealous in the moment.